promises could be made stronger and better. So we'll start with this table. Can you read your bold promise? Can you give him the mic, please? Can you stand here and read your bold promise? Here.
I'm Rajamurugan from Aditi Bioearth Solutions. Our product enrich soil and increase nutrient value in organic way.
First of all, can you speak loudly, clearly from your diaphragm so that the last person in the room can hear you?
Yes. I'm Rajamurugan from Aditi Bioearth Solutions. Our product enrich soil and increase nutrient value in organic way. Our product enrich soil and increase nutrient value in an organic way.
Is that your bold promise?
Yes.
Okay, would that be an ooh, ah, or a? Ah, why ah? How do we? So by the way, Siddharth and Lavanya, ooh, ah, a is, ooh is when, it's very thanda, not good. Ah is when it is average, and a is when it's fantastic. So you've got an ah, Raja, sorry. Why ah? Who said ah? Please give feedback on why ah. Why ah?
Voice.
Not the voice, the bold promise.
The content.
No, not
content,
the tone,
content.
the content.
You're talking about the content.
Can you read the content once again?
See, to enrich soil and increase nutrient value in organic way.
It is not attractive. What will make it attractive?
That's.
I like the language that people are using. No avoidance of pain, no quantifiers. Good.
No,
So
but this is a bold promise only. No? So it'll all come in the roadmap or.
So bold promise should be so attractive that our friend here should get up and say, wow, I want to buy your product. Or give me your visiting card, I want to set an appointment with you. So maybe we're not getting that feel yet. Can we help him? Can we help him make it stronger? Yes, so ma'am, you said numbers. How can he add numbers? Give him feedback.
See, to enrich soil and nutrient value in an organic way. This is.
You have something else you want to share?
No, he's talking about the numbers, 20% increase in the yield, those points.
So can you put that in one sentence and give us?
Okay, our product enrich soil and increase nutrient value, and output will be 20% more than the existing.
Okay, how is
soil
that now?
conditions.
He's saying, can we listen to him carefully and give him feedback? Can you say that once again? And people, we listen to the person who's talking, okay? Yes.
Our product will enrich the soil and increase nutrient value by 20%.
How is that? Ooh, ah, or a? Who said ah? Yes, give feedback. Yes, why ah?
Again, no avoidance of pain, only gains eventually.
Avoidance of pain. Okay.
So it's okay, you can still have only gain, but it still should be extremely solid for someone to say, wow. By now, all of us know Raja's product very well.
80% nutrient value. It gives 20% more yield. Our soil will enrich your soil and your health.
As you said, no, sir, per acre, if you are putting your bioproducts, that will increase the
20%.
In per acre, you are increasing from 2 tons to 2.5 tons.
Yes.
Yeah,
Let's
attempt
see.
once more,
Yes.
start. Yes, give feedback, give.
What is that?
As we know from yesterday, shall we convey like this? So here I'm here to help you to enrich your soil.
Increase the nutrient value in soil.
Yes, yes. Try, try.
Grow better with our
When you make comparison and against chemical fertilizers,
Okay.
spoil your soil.
See, our product better with our organic fertilizer, get 20% higher yields, richer soil and healthier plants, guaranteed results for your money.
How is this? Ooh, ah, or A? A? Okay, stay there, stay there, stay there. How can we make this better and stronger, right? So, this sounds more like an advertising ad. Good stuff, lot of marketing. How can we make it better? By speaking like we talk. This is more written language, guaranteed results, etc. It's good, but how do we make it better, right? So can you bring that once again? Can I take a look at it? Okay. So our product will help you with 20% higher yields. Now higher yields, is that spoken language or written language? Written language, right? How would you convert this to spoken language? What is higher yields? 20% better output, crops, growth. What would you say? What is the most simple word to use? Nobody says yield when you're talking, no? Right, so what is spoken language? What do you call it in your language? Do you call it crops, produce? What do you? Right, so 20% higher produce, right? Sorry, where is it? Okay, so one thing we need to understand is when we are creating a bold promise, and this is a recap, we've done a lot of this yesterday, I don't want to spend too much time today doing it again. Please avoid words like more, better, less, almost. Any vague words should be avoided completely. Specific is terrific. Please write it down somewhere. Specific is terrific. The more specific you are, the better it is. We make you happier. What is happier? Well, your definition of happy and my definition of happy could be different, right? So specific is terrific. Okay? Try to add numbers and try to make it so to the point that the customer knows, okay, this is the pain I'm going to avoid, this is the gain I'm going to get. So if you remember, we spoke about Raja's product yesterday and we kept asking him, so what, so what, so what? That is your cue to create a bold promise. So what would that lead to? So what would that lead to? So what would that lead to? That would help me buy organic. His product will help me get organic fertilizers at lesser price than chemical fertilizers. That was the first thing we spoke about yesterday, right? We're getting organic fertilizers for lesser amount than chemical fertilizers. So that's the avoidance of the pain, right? Also, there are 0 rejections in exports. And my soil is 100% safe. I get 20% more output or produce and 80% more cost effective. Now, are these things lucrative enough? Now, can you put that in one sentence? Some of these things. And try one last time. They take center stage, they take lead. Elangovan is one man who has been in the comfort zone right from the start till the end. So you are not scared of snakes, is it? And is there any other reason why you didn't move? There was no stretch. Yeah, but where is it playing from? Yes, please start. Is it a true thing with you? You've seen snakes, you've dealt with snakes? Thank you. Yes. Yeah. Forget what is written. Raja, you have to believe in your product. We've been doing this for 2 days now, right? So give us specific outputs that we are going to get. Yes, start.
See, our product gives 20% increase in the yield and nutrient value is also increased in this. The availability to the farmers is also very challenging nowadays because of the inorganic fertilizers. So we get organic fertilizer at a cheaper price with a better output.
So I like the organic fertilizers at a cheaper price. Is this easy to understand? Organic, 100% organic fertilizer made from absolute waste at 80%, 20% cheaper, right?
20%.
20% cheaper price. And what was the last thing you
Yield
said?
is 20% more.
Right. So you get a 20% cost saving and a 20% more output with 100% chemical free fertilizers. Now, is that exciting enough? Right. Yes.
Change the word from cheaper to affordable.
What do you think as an audience? When I say it's 20% cheaper or I say 20% more affordable, which one is more exciting?
We have done already, the survey is done already, means cheaper is the wrong.
It's a colloquial word for this.
People will be always familiar
See,
with
we are-
free, cheap, so they will be having more.
Cheaper is better, so audience feedback is cheaper is the better word, right?
Yes.
So please speak simple language. I like the way you said.
Yes.
We bring you 100% organic fertilizers at a 20% cheaper price than the chemical ones,
Yes.
which will increase 20% of your output. Which will increase
Yes.
20% of your output and make your soil 100% safe, right? So try to add numbers and make it specific. Good job. All right, let's give him a round of applause. I need the cards. Where are the other cards? Yeah, okay. Next in line is hospital. Yes.
Video record.
So what is the product? Who is the audience? Very quickly, one line. Less is more.
Insurance.
Okay. And who is the audience?
Policy holders and hospital.
Okay. What is the bold promise?
Hi, this is Sudan from Star Health Insurance. I help you in your health claim processing for a 100% hassle-free discharge from hospital. We settle your bills. Thank you. Yeah, in time.
Okay, great. Do you want to hear that once again? Okay, once again, slow down and tell us what is your bold promise?
Hi, my name is Sudan. I'm from Star Health Insurance. I help you in your health claim processing for a 100% hassle-free discharge from hospital. We settle your bills in time.
Good. Okay, ooh, ah or a? Ah? Okay, so feedback is it is I focused, not you focused. Okay, so how do we make it you focused?
No, it is you focus.
You're saying I will do this, I will do that.
We.
Okay,
Even if
We
it's,
help you.
so it says, we help you in your health claim processing for a hassle-free discharge from the hospital. Okay, we settle your bill in time. How do we make this better?
you don't have to run around for settlement of bills.
Yeah. Instead of saying, what he's saying is, instead of saying, we help you settle your bill, turn that around to, you don't have to run around to settle your bill. So
Okay.
that's the language that he's asking us to turn around. Any other questions? Any other feedback? Yeah, I like the way she's thinking.
Yeah.
You know, when we say less is more, remove unwanted words. Keep only what's needed, right? So we help you with your health claim processing. And then, yeah. Read this.
We help you in your health claim processing for a 100% hassle-free discharge. We settle your bill in time instead of you running for that.
Okay. So how do we make this better? So we help you in your health claim processing. Now instead of for a 100% hassle-free, you get a 100% hassle-free settlement from us. Is that better? Rather than saying speak like you talk, make it you focused. So when I talk to you and I say that you are going to get an absolutely 100% hassle-free discharge. Just focus on getting well, we will take care of your bills. Now that bold promise is turned around to you. Thank you for that feedback, by the way. Now it is more you focused. Anything else that we can do to make this better?
In a patient claim, normally we have to make a pre-registration is not required. You can say the appointment should get with the doctor. We should get an appointment in the insurance company also. Then only they will give.
But is that their feature?
No, sir,
We don't know.
that's all the processing things. You have to do that anyway, right?
No, but is that a part of their business? I don't know. Is it?
No, doesn't.
So I remember yesterday when I was speaking to Ramesh, he said that it is so simple. You make one phone call to us. We take care of everything. You walk away with your discharge card without worrying about settlements. Now, is that exciting enough? Right? Speak like you talk. Why are we trying to make things too complicated by writing? See, sometimes writing can complicate it. Right now, I just spoke to you. I said we are Star Health Insurance. If you ever get admitted to an hospital, you just have to make one phone call. We will take care of everything for you. You walk out of the hospital with the discharge card, absolutely hassle-free. Right? Now, is that exciting enough for someone to hear? So, try to make it very simple. So, use the same language, just make it you-focused. Okay? Good. Let's give them a round of applause. Try if you want to try. One last chance.
Hi, I'm Sudan from Star Health Insurance. We help you in your health claim processing for a 100% hassle-free discharge. Just make a call. We are there for you and we settle your bills in time so that you don't need to run away. Run out.
Don't need to run away, we will not run away. So yeah, it'll come with practice, right?
Sure.
It'll come with practice. What is the most important thing? Slow down. Think before you speak. How would you speak to your best friend about your product? Right? Make it very simple. See, here's the thing, and I work with so many CEOs, and all of them come to me with these fancy vocabulary and decks. Who cares? Make it simple. Simple is powerful. Right? Anyway, our attention spans are so limited. How many of us anyway understand Shashi Tharoor? Everybody likes to listen to him. Do we understand him? No, we have to sit with a dictionary. So keep it simple. Keep it simple. Good. All right. Let's move to the. Let's give him a round of applause once again for showing up. Srividya. Srividya, what is your presentation about? It's a training, communication skills training for sales professionals. Okay. Okay. So what is your bold promise?
Hi, I am Srividya, here to facilitate you to create an impact on your customer to take the butt of the sales rebuttal and close the deal.
Okay, so let's break this down. You said, hi, I'm Srividya.
I am Srividya here
Okay.
to facilitate you to create an impact on your customer.
Stop. So she says to facilitate you to create an impact on your customer. How is this so far? Ooh, ah, or a? Ooh. Why ooh? Why ooh? Give us feedback.
So impact in the sense she may give, but how it could be?
Full sentence, impact on your customer to take the butt.
Now read ahead what you have to take the butt of the sales rebuttal. Do we understand sales rebuttal? Okay, now language has to be easy. Maybe not everybody will understand a rebuttal. Some of us who understand sales will understand what a rebuttal is and what the butt out of a sales rebuttal is. So can we make it simple for the audience to understand? Right?
Yes.
So when you said close the deal, can you read that whole thing again?
Hi, I am Srividya here to facilitate you to create an impact on your customer and to create a no rejection deal with your customer.
Right. So she's saying that with her sales program or her communication skills program, you will have no rejections from your customer. That's what you're trying to say, right? In simple language. How does that sound to you as audiences? Give her feedback. If that is her ooh, ah, or a. A. It's very simple, right? Taking complicated language, converting it into very, very simple language. So I'm Sri Vidya. I conduct communication skills workshops. And once you go through the program with me, you're going to know how to get 100%. See again, 100% no rejection is difficult for the mind to process. There is 100% also and there is no as well. How can we simplify it? 100% no is zero rejection, right? Or you say 100% conversions. Try to use positive language rather than negative language. Right? Or make it even more simple so that you're able to close every customer you meet. You're going to walk away with tools that will help you close every single deal. Make it simple as possible. Now, when you're making a claim, make sure that it's a foolproof claim, right? You have to be very sure that you're going to be able to deliver this. So what is the pain that we are trying to avoid here? There is no avoidance promise. What could be an avoidance promise? There's an avoidance promise that's missing here, right? So you had the whole but rebuttal. Right, right. So first of all, what is a but rebuttal? Can you explain?
Rebuttal is a person trying to contest whatever you're saying.
Right.
Take the whatever premise to pulling it out from him and convincing him to accept yours.
So in simple language, because I understand very simple language, okay? So in simple language, you're telling me that you're going to help me convert every no customer to a yes customer. Is that what you're saying? Is that exciting? Yeah, imagine attending a sales program where you will learn how to convert every no saying customer into a yes customer. Is that a bold promise? Right? Something that's easy to understand? Rather than close the deal, rejection, fancy language. One thing I want you to do is once you walk out of this door today, look at every time you speak, every time you read, look at whether this language is simple or complex. Can you speak simple language? People love simple. It should register first time around, right? So 100% conversion, maybe, but that's again complex, but 100% conversion. Turn every no customer into a yes customer. Even that much is enough, isn't it? Yeah, good. All right, all the best. Yes.
Can I change it?
Yeah, you can. Yes, Ramesh. Ramesh, can you tell us a little bit about your business and the presentation? Who is the audience?
Yeah.
Mike.
Good morning. My name is Ramesh. My company is Videonetics. We are into video management, video analytics, and topic analytics, and facial recognition software manufacturing.
Okay. Who is your audience?
Primarily system integrators and partially end users.
Okay. So what is your bold promise?
Yeah. I make the city safer, smarter, happier. This is my bold promise.
Okay. What do we think? Ooh, ah, or A? Okay.
Okay.
What can he do to make this stronger?
I make the city safer, smarter, happier by deploying our video management software and video analytics software.
Okay, so I am the customer.
Yeah.
And if you were to understand what is going on in my head while you are speaking, Ramesh, I am thinking you're going to help me become safer. Now, my definition of safer in my head could be different from his. Safer, happier, and what was the third one?
Smarter.
Smarter. Are these concrete, specific terms or are they vague terms? They're vague. They're vague and they can have different meanings. While he is trying to touch an emotional chord, which is good, how can we make this specific? See, when you say you're going to make me safer, that means you're helping me avoid something.
Yeah.
What is it that you're trying to help me avoid?
See,
What is the pain?
Yeah, women safety like bag snatching, chain snatching, women surrounded by men. Those analytics I can deploy. If anybody approaching the woman or any men surrounded by women, then immediately you will get an alarm in the control room.
So my solution is going to help you 100% feel 100% safe
Safe.
as a woman in what? Where?
In the public, in the
Is
society.
this better? Is this better? Right? Now I'm getting a context. When you say smarter, what do you mean?
I can deploy the smarter, like when the dustbin is filled, you create an alert. When dustbin is empty, create an alert. When the flood level is increased, create an alert. So make that.
So stop. These alerts, what do they help me with?
So you can act smartly. So immediately you can evacuate that dustbin or clean the dustbin. So the corporation staff can be intimated. Then he can take an immediate action.
Right. So it's going to be more precaution for me,
Yeah.
right? It helps me take actions in advance to avoid problems in the future.
Yes.
And why would you say happier?
So all these things are in properly deployed. You will be feel happy in the city.
Okay. So you're making our city safer, smarter, happier. Is that what you're
Yes.
saying? Okay. How can we make this? It's a good promise, right? He's doing some good work. Is he doing some good work? Yeah. Would you want more people to take their card out of their wallet and say, I want to work with you? We want him to have more customers, right? How can we make this pitch specific so that he can get more customers? What can he do?
Yeah. See, if we allow, we can go in details. No, it's not specific to the roads. It is in the public. Either it could be in the road or somewhere in the public area also.
So public spaces,
Yes.
can you say public spaces at least?
Yes. Public. I make this public spaces safer. Instead of city, we can say.
Sorry?
Smarter, happier.
So now with public spaces, are we getting a better context? Now he's saying public spaces, safer, smarter, happier. Now this safer, smarter, happier is good. How can we make it more specific?
I make you feel safer, smarter, happier in public spaces.
Yeah, but safer, smarter, happier, is that specific? No, it's not, right? Is it exciting enough for me to say, yes, I want to work with you? So I make public spaces theft free, right? I make public spaces. So when you are using words like safer, happier, smarter, try to look at the avoidance of the pain, because then it becomes more specific.
For example.
Sorry? Yeah, read it again.
Ramesh from Videonetics. I make the city safer, smarter, happier.
And kick off risk. Remove the risk. You can,
Happier, and I'll remove risk from the public.
Okay, so I think first of all, removing happy may be a good idea. Just stick to two things and make it specific, right? I make public spaces safer and smarter. Now, how do you make it safer? You said you make it theft free.
Yes.
You make it crime free,
Crime free.
right? So these words are very catchy. Yes. See, that kind of language is very good when you're trying to make an ad campaign. But when you're delivering a bold promise, when you say third eye, the other person will think of something else altogether. You want it very specific so that people understand it, right? So, if you have any data around how much crime have you been able to save, have you been able to protect, or how
Yeah.
the smartness of the city has been able to get any kind of results, try to add that.
Yeah. See, this software is recently deployed in Chennai city. Around 10,000 cameras are already deployed and up and running. So because of that, almost 60% of that chain snatching is reduced.
See, 60% of chain snatching has reduced.
And in the traffic regulation, they are almost 80% of the traffic violations are reduced after deploying our traffic regulations. Yes. Yeah.
Now, is this catchy enough? Right? Yeah. Yeah.
It's entering into the detail mode.
Right. So you can keep it short. You can say with our solutions, we reduce the crime by a good 40%. Or you will get a 40% crime, you will live in a 40% crime-free city. You feel safe as you live in a 40% crime-free city with our smarter solutions. Now that 40% crime-free itself can be specific. Pick any one feature added to make it a little more tangible.
Yeah, traffic discipline increased to 80%.
Right,
Like
right.
stop line violation and
Now
red
when
light
you say
violations.
traffic discipline has increased to 80%, what do I have to do with traffic discipline? What does that traffic discipline ultimately help me with? That is what you need to focus
Safe.
on.
So if you are the
So
ride-
accidents have reduced. Now listen to this very carefully, okay? This is the way we think. What was he focusing on? 80% traffic discipline, because that is the process. But when you speak like a world-class speaker, don't focus on the process, focus on the outcome. What is the outcome? With that discipline, accidents have
are
reduced.
reduced.
Focus on the accidents, not on the traffic discipline. Is it making sense?
Yes.
We all tend to focus on the process. Get out of the process, focus on the outcome. Write this down somewhere. World-class speakers always focus on the outcome, not on the process. What is the final outcome? So how many accidents have reduced? Do you have any numbers around that?
Not the quantity is not that. The percentage wise 80% as well.
80% accidents have reduced.
Reduced.
Are you serious?
Yes,
Wow. Now would you want to work with somebody like that? He's saying with our solutions, we're able to avoid 80% of accidents on the street. Trust me, if I was a customer, I would pull out my card and say, who are you? Now, are we moving towards a bold promise? From safer, smarter, happier to we help you avoid 80% of accidents on the street. That's a bold promise, right? You're doing some good work. Just change the language and see the number of customers that will come to you. Good job. Okay. See, here's the thing, right? We all think that speaking is easy, but speaking simple language is not easy. Simple is not easy. It takes a while, and we are so used to writing down things and focusing on features and benefits and thinking about all the possible jargon in our language that, like yesterday I was talking to somebody who was from HR, and he kept talking about 80% ESAT scores, our conversion, our employees are very satisfied. I said, I as an employee don't care about how satisfied your employees are. Talk about what is meaningful to me at my level. Speak to me in my language, right? What am I excited about? I am excited about how much growth can I get in this organization? You know, am I going to be looked at as a family member in this organization? What benefits will I get? Will I be happy here? Will I be safe here? Talk to me about those things, not about some ESAT survey. That is jargon for you. So focus on what? Don't focus on the process, focus on what? Outcome. Say that loudly. Outcome. Final outcome. Converting every no customer to a yes customer is an outcome, not the sales rebuttal, right? Me being able to walk away from the hospital making one phone call is an outcome, right? That 80%, 20% of more crops that I get with 100% safe soil is an outcome. And think about the amount of time we have invested just to get this. This requires a change of thinking. So 2 cues I'm going to leave you with when you're designing your bold promise. 1, focus on outcome, not the process. The second is keep asking yourself, so what will it help the other person with? What will it help the audience with? What will it help the customer with? So traffic discipline, what will it help with? Right? What will, so what? So what should be your favorite questions? Okay, this seems like a lot of repeat of what we did yesterday, but I wanted you to understand bold promise. How do we feel about bold promises now? Ooh, ah, or a? Good, which means you should be ready to create your bold promise. And I made a promise yesterday. If you have a presentation and you want me to review your bold promise, put it on the WhatsApp group. As an absolute gesture from my side, I would be very happy to review it and give you specific feedback. Okay? Now the next thing we need to do, yes?
When we are talking about employees, okay, satisfied employees are there in our company, like in that context, in so many companies we used to get through mails, great place to work, certification.
Right.
How it is going to help other company, okay, because say, we are not offering any job offers, right? We are not offering any job offers. We are just sending our products or services to other company. The other company people, yes, they may think that, okay, they have the great place to work certification and everything. In what way that is going to help to take the business from them? Is that any
Okay, so what is your question?
great place to work? Why we are getting first of all?
Okay, so is this question related to speaking or is it related to this great place to work?
No, you were mentioning, no, means our happy employees, our employees are happy in our company.
Hmm.
So what I'm going to do with it?
Hmm.
So ultimately, as a client,
Yeah, so he's sharing a point that even things like great place to work are jargons. As an employee, it doesn't mean anything to me. So it may seem like we are sharing bold promises with our employees, but that great place to work is absolutely a tag, which me as an end employee, it doesn't mean anything to me. Is that what you're saying?
yeah, employee doesn't mean to be anything. As a client opposite side, you are coming to know that yes, our company
Yeah,
is
yeah.
great place to work
Yeah.
tagged. Okay.
Yeah.
While seeing that, whether you are going to offer any business to me.
No, his question is why company is portraying themselves as a great place to work.
That's a very good question, but not in scope of the public speaking workshop. We will take that offline over lunch. And you have two HR professionals here in the room. Maybe they can share insights with you. Okay, so we need to move a little quickly now. What we need to do is finalize your roadmap, and it should be very simple. Don't take too much time. I think we've spent too much time on the bold promise. How you're going to create a roadmap is think of your main points. So if you had to make a presentation on your topic, so the topic is fertilizers here, your company, Star Insurance, communication skills training, and videonetics. On your topic, what could be the 4 or 5 major points? So let's say you were sitting in front of a group of people. You were standing and making a presentation about this topic to an audience, and you had, let's say, half an hour to present. You will talk about some important points related to your topic. So identify those 4 or 5 major points, okay, in your presentation, and then create a roadmap around that. What is a roadmap? A roadmap is something that brings your presentation together. For example, we discussed the VAMS formula that I have, right? You can call it 5 steps to doing something, or 3 pillars, 3 keys, right? So give it some sort of a format. First, identify your points, and creating the roadmap will be very easy. You can also create an acronym. So for example, videonetics, you can say that our product or solution is based on a formula, and that formula is called SAFE. And SAFE could be an acronym of the 4 points that you have. Good idea? So think of what is an acronym that you can use, or maybe just call it pillars or steps or whatever it is. But in a nutshell, you should very well know this presentation is about this little piece. People should remember it. So whenever they think of these fertilizers, there should be a system or a formula or some steps that come to their mind. So first step is list down those 4 points, 4 major points. So maybe we can do one demo here so that everybody understands. So Raja, tell me, what is your presentation or product about? What are the broad points? If you had to make a presentation here, what would you talk about? Soil enrichment, can we write this down? Soil enrichment, that's one point. Second point?
Increase in yield,
Increase in yield, okay.
nutrient value of the output will be good. The produce-
Output, okay. Overall output?
Yeah.
These are 3 things you want to talk about?
Yes.
Okay, now these 3 things, you can put it together and call it anything. You can call it steps, pillars, keys, foundations. You can give it an acronym, a full form of something. So think how you're going to build it. I'm going to give you 5 minutes to do this. You should be able to do it quickly. What are the 4 broad points here on this table?
Catch the attention of the customer for a salesperson.
So this training program, what are the important points that you will cover? Any training program has content, right? So what are the broad topics most important to you? You'll discuss and come up with those topics and then create a roadmap.
Catch the attention of the customer.
si fuera la última vez y enséñame ese pasito que no sé, un besito bien suavecito, bebé. Taqui taqui, taqui taqui rumba. Whoa, oh, oh, oh. High music, high flows. Báilame como si fuera la última vez y enséñame ese pasito que no sé, un besito bien suavecito, bebé. Taqui taqui, taqui taqui, taqui taqui. Tienes un besito o un aquí, Buria flota como Nagasaki. Prende los motores Kawasaki, en la disco está llena y llegaron los Anunnaki. No le baje, el puri sobresale de tu traje. No trajo panticito pa' que el nene no trabaje. Es que yo me sé lo que ella cree que ya se sabe. Cuenta que no quiere pero me tiene espionaje. El puri sobresale de tu traje. No trajo panticito pa' que el nene no trabaje. Es que yo me sé lo que ella cree que ya se sabe. Cuenta que no quiere pero me tiene espionaje. Báilame como si fuera el último.
It was super quick and we are done. And some exciting things is what I see on the tables. This time around, we will start with this table. Yes. Tell us what is your roadmap. If you had to make a presentation to policyholders, what would you say? What are you bringing to the table? Hurry up, hurry up. Please come here. Okay, so they have a roadmap that is going to help us move out of a hospital room absolutely hassle-free. Okay. Yes. Shh.
We have an MBC system.
MBC.
Yeah.
MBC system. That's their roadmap. Very nice. What does MBC stand for?
M stands for medical evaluation, B stands for bill optimization, and C stands for centralized communication.
How is that? Ooh, ah, or A? A. So let's give them a good A, yaar. A. Well
Thank you.
done. So that's the roadmap. Now think about it. If they had to make this presentation by giving us so much of gyan on what is that? Medical centralized communication, it would have been very difficult for us to understand. And I spoke about this yesterday. What's loose is lost. Now it is not loose. They have weaved it together with a roadmap. They're saying that we help you settle your claims 100% hassle-free. Just make a phone call to us, walk out of the hospital hassle-free using our MBC system. So that is the bold promise and the roadmap. Yeah? Well done, very well done. So happy to see this. Yes, come. By the way, anyone can talk, huh? Let's not put people who have their presentations on the spotlight. You sure you want to take the stage this time?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. So Videonetics, what is
Videonetics.
your roadmap?
Yeah, SAFE.
SAFE.
Yeah.
Okay, S-A-F-E.
S stands for smart. A stands for affordable solution. F stands for fast detection.
First detection.
Fast.
Fast detection. Very nice. Okay.
E stands for easily deployable.
Wow. How is that? Ooh, wow, A. Hey, well done. Right.
Thank you.
So stay there. So now, if I'm Videonetics, I'm saying that I make the city safe, helping you avoid 80% of accidents using a safe system that we have. And safe is all of this. Is that a good bold promise and roadmap now? Yeah, well done.
Thank
You better go back and complete this so you can get more customers.
Thank
Good, nice. Okay, yeah. This table here. What is your system called? The mic. What is your roadmap?
Hello. Our product is B Glow. B stands for biofertilizer, G green environment, L for low cost and output, better output.
So the product is called Be Glow,
Yeah.
and you're going to talk about your product.
Yes.
So you're going to say that we bring you organic fertilizers,
Yes.
organic fertilizers
B
at
Glow. B for biofertilizer, G for green environment, and L for low cost and output, better output.
Lovely. So B-Glow is actually the name of your product? Very nice. So what he's done is he's taken his existing product and he's created a roadmap around it,
Correct.
right? So you can always say that your crops are going to glow with
exactly.
B-Glow, right?
Concept.
Yeah, so that's nice. So we help you increase your output by 20%
Yes.
using absolutely 100% organic fertilizers using our B-Glow product,
Correct.
right? And this B-Glow product then is a roadmap for you which you can explain. Very nice. Ooh, or A. A. See, no out of the box stuff. Very simple. He already has a product which is an acronym. He's taken that and created a system around it. Very nice. You people are pros. Elan, they're good, right? Look at the stuff that they're coming up with. Very nice. Okay. So how do we convert every no into a yes? What is your system? What is your roadmap?
For communication to a salesperson, we adapt the MAN formula. M stands for we need the money to close the deals, and the A stands for the authorized person to close the deals, and N stands for the need of the customers.
Oh, so they have a MAN formula to convert every no to a yes. Women might get offended, is what I told them, just kidding. But yeah, they have a system, and they call it the MAN system or the MAN formula for this training program. Is it catchy enough? Ooh, ah, or A? Ooh, ah, or A? Come on, they did it in 5 minutes, yeah. I would give them a total A for coming up with this. Good, good, very nice, very nice. See, you're getting a hang of this, right? You're getting a hang of this. So no longer will you walk into a presentation with an agenda slide that is very wordy, lots of words in it. You can have a very nice roadmap. And if you cannot come up with an acronym, like I said, you can call them pillars, steps, foundations, right? You can do something, but at least people know that there are 3 or 4 things that are coming up. So that's the roadmap. So this is really nice. So you've moved from having a product or an idea in your head. Now you have a bold promise which is you focused, and now you also have a roadmap. We're going to take 5 minutes now to complete the opening, the big bang opening, right? So yesterday we discussed 7 ways to open. Do you remember what were the 7 ways? Yes, what are the 7 ways? Quickly. Story. Story is one way to open. What is another way? Raise your hand. Questions. Raise your hand, or have you ever? Activity, quote, what else? Audio visuals, third party introduction. What else? Prop. Analogies. There are 8 actually. Right. So what I want you to do is on your table, take about 3 minutes to identify 2 different ways in which you will open this presentation. How will you open this presentation? And right now, maybe you cannot go into specifics. So you can say that I will open with an audio visual. And maybe you don't know what that audio visual is, it's fine. At least identify what you're going to do. Okay, so take 3 minutes and create 2 big bang openings. So Raja, if you were to stand here, let's say there are a lot of farmers and you're making a presentation, what is the first thing you will say? How will you open? What are 2 unique ways in which you will open your presentation? Out of these 8 methods, sit down, discuss it, and then we'll take your output. Okay? So 2 minutes, 2 to 3 minutes to come up with 2 ways to open.
If you could leave me now, why don't you recall? I was the one who kept
Okay, Raja. How will you open? Can you reduce the volume, please? How do you open with a bang? By the way, are we done? Or do we need more time? Ramesh? 2 ways to open, yeah. Any 2 ways. Open with a bang. Wait. Okay. Now, while one person is talking, the others will imagine that they are audiences in the room. And if you were an audience in this room and this is how this person opened the presentation, how would you feel? What would be the impression for you? Okay? All right, let's start. How will you open? Give us those 2 ideas.
We'll bring samples for the farmers initially, which will be of 1 kg packets.
So bribe them.
No, not bribe.
Gift
for
them,
them
gift
to
them.
use it. For,
Yes,
for
yes,
them
I'm
to
kidding,
use it
right.
as a.
Everybody likes gifts, yeah.
So we'll.
So you will
It'll be-
first show them the sample and give away
Yeah,
samples.
we'll give them samples to test in their fields.
Is
With-
that how you will open? How will
Yes.
you open?
And we'll have a existing farmer who has benefited using this product, and we'll ask them to give a small presentation also.
So that farmer will come in
Come and
first,
speak
talk
to the-
about, and then call you.
Talk about what he has experienced in the field, so that he can communicate in their language, in farmers' language.
And then you will come on stage.
Yes.
Okay, how does this sound? Ooh, ah, or eh? Hey, well done. Well done, well done. Very nice, very nice. So imagine we are all farmers and we've got these 1 kg packets. We are already involved. And then there is another farmer, a fellow farmer standing there sharing his story. Sounds exciting, right?
Yes.
Very nice, very well done, very impressive. Yes, Star Insurance. How will you start?
Have you been ever hospitalized?
Yes.
Yes.
That is the only thing you will say? No follow-up questions?
If not, is it possible to avoid being hospitalized in your lifetime?
Is that what you will ask us? How is this relevant to insurance? Do you want to help him? Okay, so wait. I,
This was the second one.
what is the question? Have you ever been hospitalized? Is it possible to avoid being hospitalized in your lifetime? Okay. Now see, this is in case somebody says no, but most people will say yes, I have been hospitalized. Then what will you do? But that is backup plan. I am asking you, how will you open? Normally in an audience, okay, tell me honestly, raise your hands if you've ever been hospitalized. So many people, Ramesh. People will raise their hand, no? Right. What you can do is have follow-up questions. Remember we spoke about this yesterday? You can have follow-up questions. So follow-up question could be, first is raise your hands if you've ever been hospitalized. Did you struggle getting your insurance claims? How long did it take for your bills to settle? Did it take forever? Me too. So you have follow-up questions. Don't leave it like this on a hanging cliff. Raise your hands if you've been hospitalized.
No, we have that follow-up questions.
Yes, where are the follow-up questions?
I haven't written.
Okay, all right. What is the second way you will open?
Secondly, only one. This is the.
Can we give them some ideas on how they can open? Brilliant minds in this room, can you tell us how else they can open with a bang? What are some other ideas? Come on, there are 8 ways to open. So you can start with a quote or a phrase, yeah? Except for the physical pain, we take away all the pains. Right?
Kind of
How is that relevant to them?
You guys are
Toba-
not exactly the same. Okay.
some image. Okay, they're saying some image. What else can you give? What else can they do? Come on.
Third party reference also.
That's very common. They took it already. Farmer coming and talking about testimonial is taken. Do something else. What else can be done? Huh? How do they open with a bang? One is to start with a question. The second is you could start with a story. You can start with a personal story of having been hospitalized and struggling to get your claim settled with another insurance company, right? You could do that. The third thing you can do, this is a good idea that's coming to my mind, show them a picture of the discharge card of the hospital, right? You could show them the picture of a discharge card and say what comes to your mind when you look at this. Okay, people, focus. You could show them a discharge card and ask them what comes to your mind when you look at this. And most people will say hospitals. Well, you can say that what comes to your mind is hospitals. What comes to my mind is medical claim settlement. Now, how many of you have struggled with settling your medical claims? Right? And you will have a lot of people showing up with emotions. Yes. And then you can say, what if I told you that by the end of this presentation, you're going to know how to walk away 100% hassle-free using only that discharge card and no other document with our insurance. That's a bold promise. So this is how you can start. Okay? Good? Huh? Yeah. Okay, thank you. पैसे लगते हैं इसके. I said पैसे लगते हैं free में आज. Okay, let's begin. Next person.
Our starting statement is, well begin is off done. We have given you a man formula. So, okay. Then our quote will be, this is not a hard sell, this is a hard sell. So, when we follow this both thing, we can make our sales deal closer will be better. Our conversion ratio will be better.
Nice. So they're saying we will start with a quote. By the way, what you just used is what we call a foundational phrase, which you're going to learn in about 10 minutes from now. But he's saying this is not, we don't help you with hard sells, but with heart sells. Is that a good way to open? Startling statement? Very nice, yeah? Well done, very nice. Right. What else can they do? See, theirs is a very attractive topic. What else can they do to open with a bang?
Well begin is off done. So, we are giving a man formula.
Yeah, but is that catchy enough? Yeah, Siddharth is saying, मेरे को a heart, what is man formula? What is it that I have to do with the heart?
Man is, we already explained you. So, man is find out the person who is having money.
No, that is later. This is opening, my friend. This is when you take the stage, what is the first thing you're going to say?
We have to make them to think what is man formula. So, what we are going to teach them.
Yeah, so maybe you can say that today we bring you something called the man formula. What comes to your mind when I say man? I don't know, but that's very controversial. You don't want to go there.
That's man.
Especially if you're dealing with some sensitive people. No, you don't want to go there. Okay, how else can they begin? What else can they begin with? Show statistics. Yeah, okay. What else? Raise your hands if you've ever heard a no from a customer. Very simple, right? You're converting no into yes.
Yes.
Raise your hands if you...
80% of sales deals will be closed only after more than 4 to 5 visits. So
Right.
only the 40% or deals will be closing based on that first or second visits. So number of visiting makes us number of taking lots of time identifying the peoples to close the deal. After then, 40% of our prospect meeting will be end up in our first visit also. So
What's your
we
name?
don't. My name is Bhaskaran.
Bhaskaran,
I'm
you
just
get
going
only
top.
7 seconds before the audience decides whether they want to listen to you and 30 seconds before they decide they want to be involved. So your first 7 seconds, 30 seconds have to be very crisp and very catchy, right? So when you say that, good morning, I'm going to help you move from hard selling to hard selling today. Are those good 7 seconds? Focus on the 7 seconds. All of this, my friend, will come later. But how will you open? That is important, right? So like I said, maybe you can ask a question. Raise your hands if you've ever heard no from a customer. How does it feel? Right? Me too. And then you say, what if I told you today, as you walk out of this room, you're going to know a formula that is going to help you convert every single no into a yes. Does that excite you? So that's how you can start. Those are your first 30 seconds. Okay? So first 30 seconds are important. Okay? Okay, thank you. Let's move to this table. Yes. How will you begin? There's so much you can do in your business. How will you begin? How will you open with a bang?
Yeah, I'll start with the question.
Question. Okay, what question will you ask us?
How many of you felt safe in this city? Unsafe in the city?
Okay, now, how many of you is a very tricky question. Like I told you yesterday, people may raise their hand, not raise their hand. Please listen to me very carefully, okay? The whole idea of asking a question is you want more people to raise their hand and participate.
Okay.
Because that builds energy. So that is why, have you ever felt unsafe in the city? Is a good question, because at some point somebody would have felt unsafe. So you will get maximum hands to go up. So can you change that question?
Yeah. How many of you felt unsafe in the city?
How many know how many? Have you ever?
Have you ever felt unsafe in the city? Okay. Have you ever witnessed any accident due to rash driving? Traffic violation? So I am here to resolve all these problems.
Nice. Very nice, very nice, very nice, very nice, very nice.
We have a safe formula that can make the cities...
He's already a pro. He's selling his services already to us. Good, good, good. Go on, go on, go on, go on.
Safer, smarter and easier. Like smarter, affordable, fast detection and easy to deploy.
Wow. So he's got his bold promise, he's got his roadmap and his brand Big Bang opening. Very well done. Give me a high five. You've done so well. Very nice. And good effort on the team to help him put this together. Okay, the 4 people whose presentations we were working on, please stand up. Okay, how do you feel about your presentation now? Just by working on the bold promise, the roadmap and the opening, how do you feel about your presentation? Yeah, yeah. Okay, what about you?
2 things I feel very clear. One is, for me itself is clear. So I know so many things pertaining to it's all into the it's like a spaghetti, the first one is clear. But this brings out a very clear. When I'm talking to an audience, I'm talking to an audience which who's new to the subject, or they don't know the comprehensive elements behind it. For them, this approach is very, very fantastic, which is what we require. So that part is very good. And plus, when I have seen the others also, that also gave me much clarity. How this has to be taken up. So one is clarity part, and the simplicity part was very good, because this is a very handling a claim is a very complex subject.
Right.
Because so much of medicine, so much of medical detail, hospital infrastructure, people involved, cost element involved, negotiation, time, and everything has to be documented before we do it. Sometimes it gets into
Less is
litigation.
more. So what? So you said clarity and?
Clarity and simplicity.
Simplicity. Okay, nice. Okay. So that's how you feel about your presentation now. How do you feel?
Deeper insight into how we have to present or how we have to create a roadmap, bold promise, and a bang. So, and we had a brainstorming session which gave all others inputs.
Right.
So-
So you've had a good brainstorming and it
Yes.
gives you more clarity. Okay. How do you feel
Yeah.
about your business, your presentation?
Yeah, the structured way of presentation will give more impact on the
Right.
audience.
Right. So I have a question to the four of you and the rest of you as well. Do you think you will be able to create more influence now with your presentations?
Yes.
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 More impact?
Yes.
Yes.
You'll be able to sell more?
Yes.
Yeah? Now here is the news, okay? We've only done 3 aspects of the world-class speaking model so far, right? So if you look at this, we've only done this. And we've done the main points. Can you imagine how powerful this is? And the principles that you see we are applying here is speak like you talk, keep it simple, make it you focused. Focus on the outcome, right? And if you thought public speaking was only about standing on stage and shouting, I hope you're realizing it's a lot more than that,
Yes.
right? It's about changing the way you think in terms of language and words. Keep it simple, right? So if you really want to be the elephant, keep sharpening the saw. And all of these things will help you. So thank you so much for being brave enough to volunteer and work on your presentations. And I'm glad these are live projects. So you can go back and work on these. And nowhere have I spoken about slides and PPT. See, PPT is only a tool. It is only an aid, which is happening in the back. It's like background music. You are the presentation. Okay? So ditch the PPT, and we're going to talk about that in the second half after lunch, where we'll talk about how do we create more engagement with the audience rather than focus more on the PPT. So this model is fairly simple now. We've done majority of the work. Yesterday I spoke about 3 key pillars of public speaking. Does anyone remember? 3 key pillars. No?
Structure, content, delivery.
These are people who like to write, huh? You remember. Say that again. Structure. The 3 key pillars of public speaking are structure, content, and delivery. What we've done is we've created the structure. We've done the structure by creating your bold promise and your roadmap. Do we have a clear structure now? Yes. Right? Now we work on the content. Now the content has to be developed for each piece of the roadmap. Okay? And the rule is very simple. The tighter it is, the clearer it is. Cut out the fat. Always keep a mental scissor with you. Unnecessary words, cut them out. Unnecessary content, cut it out. Less is more. The second rule is remove something that you don't need. Don't worry about have I added more and more and more. Remove what you don't need. Keep it simple, keep it strong. Now each main point that you have, so all of you have a system or a formula. There is the MBC system, there is GLOW, BGLOW, there is MAN formula, and there is SAFE. Now each of these are points. Each point needs to be a module on its own. That is where we develop the content. So the structure is your bold promise and roadmap. Now we are going to create content within the roadmap. And there is a formula to do that. Okay? This is what we've done so far. We've got our overall message. We've got our main points. We've got the big promise roadmap. All of us good so far? Yes. Yeah? Now we are going to build something called the parts formula for each point. Today we are going to do part and not parts. S is sales. So in the selling workshop that I do, I cover the S of the sales of the S of the parts formula well. Today we are going to focus more on this PART. So what we are going to do is for each part of your roadmap. So for example, when I talk about SAFE, what does S stand for? Smarter. For smarter, we are going to build content. You will have to speak to your audience about smarter, right? So how do you build that content? That content is created using the PART formula. What is the PART formula? So PART's formula stands for phrase, anchor, reflect, to do, and sail. Don't worry about what these are. We're going to explain this to you. You'll walk away knowing what this is, okay? But these are the steps. once you understand how to build this for any one point, you will be able to build it for any point whatsoever. Okay? So the first part of the foundational phrase, by the way, let me go back to this. Can you go back to your notebooks? I think this is on page number 18 or 17, right? This model? 18. Page number 18, you will see at the bottom there is opening. There is bang, big promise, roadmap. We've done that? Yeah? Then you will see first point, second point, third point. Do you see that? And in each point, do you see parts formula? So that is what we are doing right now. Okay? This entire model is a model to put together a presentation of about 45 minutes together. Okay? So let's look at the parts formula. P is for phrase. Now what is a phrase? A phrase is known as a foundational phrase in the world-class speaking language. You remember back in childhood when we used to listen to fairy tales and fables, each fable had a moral of the story, right? So there was a hare and tortoise story. How many of you remember that? Hare and tortoise story. Yeah, what was the moral of the story? Slow and steady wins the race, right? Then there was another one, honesty is the best policy, right? Were there any more that you remember? Any other moral of the stories that you remember? Because we usually remember stories through the moral of the story, right? And the foundational phrase is a very catchy phrase which is the moral of the story for that particular point. So when I say, if you want to be the elephant, let go of the rope, that is a foundational phrase. It is catchy, it is memorable, it is repeatable, people would remember it. Okay, so every point in your module needs to have a catchy phrase. So for example, in SAFE, S is smarter, right? So to conclude that point of smarter, you could have a catchy foundational phrase. It could either be rhyming or it may not be rhyming, doesn't matter. I'll show you some examples. Okay, first of all, it is fewer than 10 words. Fewer than 10 words that summarizes your point. And it is something that is memorable and repeatable. Okay? I'll give you a few examples. So, yesterday I was talking to you about this client who's working on creating a program on health, and he talks about his first, and his model, his roadmap is called HUNGER, which is an acronym, and H is for habitual hunger. And he says, in the foundational phrase for hunger, in H of hunger, he says, when you munch, you punch. It's a very nice foundational phrase, right? I have another client who has a foundational phrase which is dig deep to fly high. She talks about discovering the patterns and habits within you so that you can set higher goals. And her foundational phrase is dig deep to fly high, right? So you can have different types of foundational phrases depending on the context, okay? Something that's catchy. Anything which will help your audience remember your point. Those are some examples. Don't get ready, stay ready, yeah? If you want to reap, you have to take the leap. Great presentations require great preparation. What got you here won't get you there. What gets recorded gets rewarded. How you do anything is how you do everything. Okay? Even this is nice. You can't heal what you can't feel. Right? Don't drown, instead ground. So think of catchy phrases for your roadmap points. Something that people will remember. So for example, when you're talking about the MAN formula, and M is for money, right? Can you come up with a phrase that concludes the whole message of that particular point? Yeah? So come up with a phrase. So that's the phrase. You have a question? No, yes. Yeah, what is it? Tell me.
What does the city say to the living?
Say that again.
The more smarter the city.
Smarter the city, safer the living. How is that? Well done. Smarter the city, safer the living. Very nice. Now imagine if Ramesh were to actually talk about this. Is that going to create an impact and impression? Yeah? Beyond that you can imagine. So that is foundational phrase. So you're going to be working on the foundational phrase for at least one of the pieces of the roadmap. So MBC system, one part of that. Pick up any one, create a foundational phrase that will give us a crux and people will remember it, something that's catchy. Okay? Then you have something called anchor. Parts formula, right? So you have anchor. Now anchor, we discussed yesterday. How many of you remember anchor? This is also a world-class speaking competency. What is an anchor? Sorry? Something that engages the audience. Yeah, something that engages the audience, and there are 4 types of anchors that I'm going to talk to you about. Okay? And I'm going to combine this, so you can say story and analogy is pretty much the same thing, but there is activity, analogy, which could be a metaphor that we discussed yesterday, like the house, the elephant, the parachute. These are analogies, or they could be stories, personal stories or somebody else's stories. Acronym and audio visuals. Now an anchor is something that helps people remember the point, anchor into the point. Okay? So for example, how will I remember smarter? One, I will remember smarter through the foundational phrase. The other is you need to have a strong anchor. So either you do a small activity with us, or you share a story or an analogy, or you show us a video, or you have an acronym for smarter itself, so that we remember it. So that's an anchor. Okay? Story, activity, audio visual, analogy, acronym. Now this is very important, people. This is so important. When I saw this, heard this for the first time, it blew my mind. What we do as normal mediocre speakers is we have a lot of random anchors. Kahan pe story dal diya, somewhere there's story, there's audio visual, there's activity, and then we try to connect points to it. That's a very wrong way of creating content. Okay? What you want to do is you want to have one anchor per point. Normally what people do is they have one big activity and they will try to get 5 different points out of that. The message is lost. Have just one anchor. So if it is one story, just pull out one message from that story. If it is one activity, only one message out of that. Okay? So one anchor per point makes life very easy. So what was P for? What is P in the parts formula? P is phrase, foundational phrase. Can I have a marker, please? I don't know if green will be visible on green. Can you pass the blue or the black? Yeah. Okay. So P is for phrase. Okay? Something that's catchy, something that's memorable, and it is less than 10 words. Okay? Then you have anchor. Important things to remember in anchor. How many types of anchors are there? 4, right? So 4 types. And most importantly, one anchor per point. Okay? So you have phrase, you have anchor, and like I said, please tie your point to an anchor. Yeah? Don't have random points. How will somebody remember it otherwise? People will not remember it if you have too many anchors. R of the parts formula is reflect. Now here is a common mistake that most people make. Most people tend to share great stories, activities, analogies, but they don't get the audience to reflect, right? So for example, when you bring a farmer in, and the farmer is sharing their story, what kind of an anchor is that? Is that an anchor first of all? Good anchor, right? And this story probably is linked to the bee. What is your bee in Bee Glow? Biofertilizer. So this farmer is talking about biofertilizer. So you have the anchor to the story, and let's say you build a phrase also around it. As an audience, we are happy, we are engaged, we're loving the whole concept. But what you're not doing is involving us in the story. To do that, you need to ask reflection questions. Okay, reflection questions. And reflection questions are very similar to raise your hands. Have you ever been in a situation? And these questions are more relevant to that particular point of the roadmap. So for example, in the MBC system, what is B? Billing optimization. Now, let's say your anchor for that, okay, is maybe an activity you give us. You give us a couple of handouts and you say, you know, this could be the bill, this could be the bill, this, maybe you give us a case study to look at. So I look at a case study. It's a good anchor because I have looked at it and it's going to anchor in my head, right? Now you can't leave it there. You need to ask me some reflective questions. So raise your hands if you were ever expecting 100% settlement on your bill, but you got only 80%. Right? What did you do? Why does this happen? And then you give them the solution. So reflection questions are very important. Or you can say, how would you feel if somebody told you that you can get 80% of your closure where you were expecting only a 60%? Yeah, so whatever the technicality is, right, you build it around that, but you're focusing again on pain and gain. So reflection questions are very, very important, okay? Wisdom comes from reflection. And this may seem like a very small, silly point, but it's very important. If I don't ask you questions for you to think about, then the process is incomplete. Then you're not buying into my sale, right? You have to get me to I have to get you to think questions. And questions are all of these, right? Have you ever been in a situation? What if I told you? Please write these down. These are stems. Stems meaning you can start questions with this. How would you feel if I told you? Have you ever been in a situation? Right? So these are good question stems to start with. Have you ever had a time? This moves the audience from being a passive spectator to a story, analogy, activity, to being an active participant. Anchor and then reflection. Because with an anchor, you're either sharing a story, an acronym, an analogy, or an activity. After that is done, then you ask the question, related to whatever the moral of the story was, or whatever the crux of the activity was.
So yesterday we were talking about, we ask a question first, ask them the main point, then we share our product, then we share our ideas. But if you do anchor, we will be showcasing our idea, then we will be asking questions.
So that question, you just walked in, is it? Okay. So that question that you're asking is for the opening of the entire presentation. Now we are talking about every point in the roadmap. Once the roadmap is created, every point within that roadmap, how to build content around that. So this question is for that part of the roadmap. Let's catch up for lunch, I'll fill you in. Okay. Then you have to do. Now here is a big mistake again that most speakers make, which is when they are trying to sell an idea, product or service, they leave the audience hanging with no next steps. Ultimately you want to sell, right? So if I've had a great anchor, the farmer came and spoke about this beautiful fertilizer that you're offering, you had this catchy phrase, you also asked your audience some reflective questions. How would you feel if you got 0 rejections on your exports? How does it sound to you if I told you that you're going to have 100% chemical-free soil? Audience is very excited. But aage kya karna hai? We're by, right? So the next step is very, very important to do, right? And sometimes you may not want to sell directly. What you can do is, You can ask your audience to say, here's what I'd like you to do. For the next 24 hours, I would like you to do some math on how many export rejections have you got from the produce that you've had. Or you can say, I'd like you to go back and do some math. Go and look at how much your soil has deteriorated over the last 5 years using the chemicals that you're already using. Something for them to do, which takes them closer and closer and closer to the overall idea, right? So for example, if you're talking about M and money, right? You can say for the next 24 hours, or you can say for the next 30 days, every time, pick up the phone call, talk to customers. Every time somebody tells you no, because they don't have money, I'd like you to use this. Give them a formula to use. But give them something to do in the next 24 hours, 7 days, 30 days. I'll tell you why. Because this is human psychology. Till I don't do something and implement it, I don't buy into it. Now, a lot of you love the world-class speaking model and the bold promise and the roadmap. Why? Because you did it. You saw an output. Yesterday, you were happy about the diaphragm because you experienced the diaphragm. Till you don't give people a to-do, they're not going to buy into what you have to sell, right? So this is to-do, which is asking the audience to do something within the next 24 hours. Okay, so that is the parts model. S is for sale. Sale is, I'll speak about it very briefly. Like I said, I have a separate program on that. But the parts formula also has S. Sale is when you end that point in the module. So for example, if you're talking about the smarter of S, you will give them a foundational phrase, you will give them an anchor, you will give them a reflection question, you will give them a to-do, and then you will give them a sales story, which is called the then, now, and how story. So before this particular piece, what was the situation? Now, how things have improved and how they have improved. Okay? You also give them if and then stories. So if there was a situation that appeared, how this product will help, or how this situation will help, or how this idea will help, right? If you deployed this, then what is the result you will get? So a lot of if, then, now, how stories are used in the sales part of it. But right now we're not going to do that. For your presentation, we're going to focus only on the part formula. Okay, so here is what you need to do for the next 10 minutes. On your table, pick up any one point from the roadmap. So from your BGLO, you can pick up anything, BGLO, anyone. From MBC, pick up anyone. From MAN, pick up anything. From SAFE, pick up anything. Pick up any one. Build an anchor. What anchor will you use? Will you use a story? Which story? Will you use an activity? Will you use an analogy? Will you use an audiovisual? What is the reflection question that you will ask the audience, and what is the to-do that you will give them? Clear? I know it's a lot and it's new for you. I'm here to help you. Let's build it over the next 10-15 minutes. So let's get started. Which one you want to work on?
The number you have found is not available at present. Please leave your message
Pau na pepeca, pepeca no pau, pau, pau na pepeca, pepeca no 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 pau, pau, pau na pepeca, pepeca no 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 pau, pau, pau na pepeca, pepeca no pau, pau na pepeca, pepeca no pau, pau na pepeca, pepeca no pau.
Raja and team, are you done? We will take a lunch break after we finish this. So if you want to go for lunch soon, then finish this sooner. I'm giving you 3 minutes to complete this. How are we doing? Team Ramesh, are we done? Okay, come. All right. So we all know that the structure or the roadmap for his presentation is called SAFE. SAFE is the roadmap. Which part of the SAFE will you be using for the parts formula? S.
Yes.
S, okay. So what is the phrase? Okay, that's very nice.
Hi. The phrase is smarter the city, safer the living.
Smarter the city, safer the living. How's that? Nice? Yeah, very nice. Okay.
Okay. Second is a story.
Anchor is story?
Anchor is a story.
Okay, so they've got the phrase, they've got the anchor.
Yeah.
Do you have a story in mind that you want
Yes.
to share? Okay.
It's a fine evening, very windy and cloudy. So the girl, a smart girl coming out from office, and she reached a bus stand and waiting for the bus. So, beauty, smart girl உங்களுக்கு பிடிக்காதா? Okay, smart and beauty girl like Alma Virani.
Oh, thank you. Yes.
Okay, she is waiting for a bus.
Okay.
So she is waiting for almost 5 to 7 minutes. No buses come. So suddenly she saw one group of rogues are coming and approaching her and try to misbehave her. So she was clueless what to do. Suddenly after 2 minutes of time, there is a patrol vehicle approaching her and saved her from the risk. This happened because of the smart system installed by Videonetics.
Wow, so that is your anchor. So that is the anchor. What is the reflection question that you will ask?
Yeah. So how many of you face this kind of situation in the real
How
world?
many? No, change that to have you ever.
Have you faced any of this situation in your real world?
Now, here is the thing, right? You may not have all women in the room. And also, not everybody would have gone through this situation. And being a woman, I will tell you that even if I have, I will be a little hesitant to raise my hand. So can we change that to a better reflection question?
Have you
Yeah, thank you, thank you. Say that loudly, say that loudly.
have you heard anything?
Yeah, yeah.
Have you heard anything about this kind of situation?
Yeah, now wait, hang on. This is a trick, okay? So when you are trying to get some negative responses from people, you never say, have you. Say, do you know someone who is? Right? Have you ever spent time with someone very negative? Right? Instead of saying, are you a negative person? Nobody is going to raise their hand and say, I am negative. But they will always say, I know somebody else who is negative. Right? So in situations that are catchy, change that around to, have you heard of anyone going through the situation? And most people will raise their hand. Good. Good change. Yes.
Yeah. Next is to do. Have you heard about any kind of this situation in your real world? Okay.
Okay, now that is a little incomplete, right? What is, you're involving us, but then you've left us halfway. We are wondering what next. So how can he involve us more?
Yes. So I am here to give you a solution for that.
So either you can do two things. Either you can share that story in two parts. So you can say that smart, beautiful girl at the bus stop, blah, 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 a bunch of men trying to harass her. Now that's a sad story, right? You can say that's a very sad story. How many of us have heard of a story like that before? And most people will raise their hand. And you can say that What if I told you this story ends differently? So while the girl was helpless, there was a petrol car that came in and helped.
Yes.
A car or petrol came, whatever, how do you say it? A group of policemen that came and helped her, right? What if I told you that this could be possible in every situation where a girl is harassed in our city? How would you feel about that,
Better.
right? And then you bring in your solution. So you can split that story into two parts as well.
Okay.
Okay? So what if I told you, have you ever can be your first question. Second question is, what if I told you that this was possible? Okay? Alright, so what is it to do for us?
Yeah. To make this city safe, please spread this technology across the world, across the city, and make the city safe.
Okay, now this is direct selling. Never do that. Nobody is interested in spreading the word for you, or for me, or for anybody. Right? This is direct selling, so you don't do that. What you can say is, for the next 24 hours, if you can, actually 24 hours won't work, no? Yeah, you can say that for the next, in the next 24 hours, if you can reach out to the women that you know around you and ask them how many of them have actually faced this situation, you will understand how important this system is for the city. So ask them to get in touch with women who've gone through it rather than saying, take my product and spread awareness around it.
Okay.
Yeah? How
So-
does it feel as an audience when I tell you that for the next 24 hours I would like you to spread awareness on my product? How does that feel? Yeah, but if I say for the next 24 hours, I'd like you to talk to the women that you know in your circle. Ask them, have they faced a situation where they felt helpless? And do they need help? How does that sound to you? Right? It's planting a seed in my head that I need your product without actually needing it. By the way, you had only 15 minutes to put that together. I have clients that work for 15 days. You did it in 15 minutes. I must tell you, you deserve a round of applause for putting this together. Very well done. Very well done. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right. Raja and team. So you have the Be Glow roadmap. Which part of Be Glow are you working on?
So we are going to give for the phrases feed your plant, feed your soul.
Feed your plant, feed your soul. Very nice. Which part of the Be Glow is this?
So this is from, we are going to agriculture too.
No. Is it B-G-L-O? Which part of it are you working on?
No, this is G.
G.
Yeah.
Okay, okay. How is the foundational phrase? Feed the plant, feed your soul. Nice, very good. Some very intelligent people in Chennai, huh? Very creative folks, Elangovan, must say. Right, okay. Yes, anchor.
So
What is the anchor?
the anchor we are going to give the PPT. Raju, this. No, only PPT.
You have something to show us?
No, just one picture. So from.
When did you do this?
So this is like a. So this is our website. So this is we are done lots of project and research, and we given our product to agriculture people for farming. So here we are coming to all here are people are for home. Okay, we are coming to home now. So this is we are given this video slide to know how you can get the benefit in your home.
Okay, so one small thing. You are going to be talking about home kitchen garden to me, right?
Yes, exactly.
So this anchor, how is that relevant to home garden?
Actually, this is we are given to the agriculture people for farming our product. So our product we are given into bringing into home now.
Okay, so what you can do is you can show this as anchor, and then you can say you saw, for example, let's say his name is, give him a name, Chandrasekhar.
Chandrasekhar.
So you can say that you can see how Chandrasekhar has been feeding his plants, right, with our products. How many of you would like, or you can say, you can start with asking what you were telling me on the table. Raise your hands if you'd like to have a home garden or a kitchen garden.
Yes, next thing.
But I'm still trying to build the connection. Is it connecting? Is Chandrasekhar connecting to a home kitchen garden? Do you think that anchor is connecting? Lavanya, what do you think? That's what he's trying to tell us.
Yes, exactly.
It's not connecting. David says not connecting.
So Mr. Chandrasekhar, he is using our product for his farming. So he is cultivated, all the product is very hygienic and good for health. So this product I'm bringing to you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Show us a Chandrasekhar who has a home garden. Yeah, Chandrasekhar's kitchen garden would be more relevant.
Yeah. Yeah, this is for rural and this is for urban.
Yeah, but my friend, it's not connecting to us as audience, because I am not able to connect with Chandrasekhar. For me, he has acres and acres of farmland. I have a small terrace at home. So I'm not able to connect with Chandrasekhar. So you have to show us something else, which
No,
is
ma'am.
more
Actually, this is I given this picture for, we are given this. So next I'm going to ask, have you been dreamed your own garden in your home?
Yeah. He's asking us, have you ever dreamt of having your own kitchen garden? Yes.
Yes. You are using your wastage for your garden. Yes. So we are here to give our product. You can check it out. So this is, we are trying to.
Okay. So first of all, relax. The poor thing is on the spotlight and he's trying to sell. See, just understand that when you are using the parts formula, you're not doing any hard selling. Okay? You're only planting seeds through which by the end of it, people will jump up and say, I want to buy it, without you saying, take my product. Okay? So imagine if there is a Chandrasekhar with a home garden, talking about how amazing that home garden is, and then you use a reflection question and say, how many of you have actually dreamt of having your own home garden? How many of you would like to be like Chandrasekhar? Right? Now, what are some of the challenges that we face when we are trying to build a home garden? Is it space? Is it time? Is it you don't have knowledge? Now, what if I told you that all of this was easily possible? And if you feed the plant, you will feed your soul, right? And then you can maybe give them samples or whatever. And then in the next 24 hours, you can ask them to go and plant one seed and see how it feels. Because when you feed a plant, you feed your soul. You're not telling them go buy a product directly. Never do that. Okay? Most people, because see, the moment you tell somebody, this is a product, try it, how do you feel? When I say this is my product and I would love for you to try it and it's going to help you, how do you feel as an audience?
Actually,
how do you feel? I don't understand expressions. You have to tell me how you feel. His expression was, yeah. So how do we feel? We feel it's repulsive. We want to move away from anything that, I read this somewhere when I was learning sales, that everybody wants to buy, nobody wants to be sold. Everybody wants to buy, nobody wants to be sold. We all buy things, right? I just bought a very expensive phone. We all buy things, don't we? I didn't want to buy it, but I bought it. I'm sure at some point in your life you would have bought stuff that you didn't want to buy. But that's because it was not sold to you. And there were so many places where you actually wanted to buy, but because somebody was selling, you didn't buy it. So everybody wants to buy, nobody wants to be sold. So you want to share stuff with people and create a pull for them to buy it automatically, rather than you selling it. Okay? So change this to a regular Chandrasekhar or a Chandralekha who has a kitchen garden, right? Who has a kitchen garden, then ask us how many of us would like it, what are some of the challenges that we would face. And then it's a very good foundational phrase which you have, which is when you feed a plant, you feed a soul, how you feel. So create that emotion of creating a kitchen garden. Pehle emotion hona chahiye. There is no emotion. I should be excited about creating a kitchen garden, then I will buy your product. First you create that emotion of what it feels like to have a kitchen garden. And then say in the next 24 hours, just go and plant one small seed. Take little soil, put one seed in it, and be with that feeling. How do you feel when you're feeding a plant? I guarantee you, you're going to feel great for your soul. Right? And then you can say, and we love what we do because it feeds our soul. We have a range of products, but you don't say buy our product. You talk about your product. Say we have a range of products that are used in kitchen gardens, and people have seen a lot of growth in their kitchens. For example, Chandralekha, Ramesh, these are people who've grown their kitchen garden from zero to whatever. We do a lot of work in this space and we enjoy it. But nowhere will you say, we would like to do it for you. You don't say that. Make sense? This applies to all sales. Don't do that. Okay. But some very good insights, and you actually took the effort of putting it out there, and good foundational phrase, good method of the big glue.
Now marketing also in online, yes. So Dudu, I came for this. So Dudu, we are all here. We are going to give our product for everyone. So you can take with you.
Yeah,
I am giving
distributing free samples.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
So after 3 months in our portal, there is a feedback form. So we can collect from each and everyone your feedback form. From this, we are going to give an idea about this from yourself, and we can do the business with you.
Yeah. Leave the business with you aside. People will automatically do business. Okay?
Thank you.
All right, good. You know, a change of language is very, very difficult. It's almost like you're used to writing with your right hand, and now I'm asking you to write with your left hand. We have been conditioned to hard sell, to speak in a certain manner. But now when you're standing here, when you're sitting there as an audience, do you realize the difference? When somebody is trying to hard sell and when somebody is trying to pull you into being a part of something. It's very different. Okay, we need to take a lunch break, so we need to do this quickly. Come.
As far the health insurance goes, we had three, this MBC, which is the medical, M stand for medical processing, B stands for bill optimization, and C for centralized communication. So I'll take the third part, centralized communication. Our tagline or the foundational phrase is any query, no worries. Any query, no worry.
Okay,
or
so
any queries, no worries.
Because it rhymes better.
Better. Any queries, no worries.
Yeah, yeah.
We want to put a visual for that. The visual is patient is set for discharge. I mean, is ready, packed his bags, waiting on the bed, and doctor is still not decided the case. The billing is waiting for the doctor's approval to write the bill. The nurse has to send the list of medicines to the billing counter. So a lot of communication happening, and patient doesn't know what to do. That's the visual we want to put. And after that, we are going to put another visual later, but this is the first visual. My pitch is this. At the time of discharge, I'm sure you would all had your family member or somebody get treated in the hospital. At that point of discharge, there are a lot of information that has to be made available for the billing clerk to prepare the bill. that bill has to go to the insurer for a claim. Now there is, no, it's a very time consuming process. How do you, as a patient, you will know, is my bill ready? When you go to the bill level, they say, no, the doctor's yet to reply. Or when you go to the doctor or the billing clerk,
You're going on the right track. Let me just interrupt you. Sorry to interrupt you. But whatever he's explaining, what if this was converted into a story? Right? So he says that I want to talk to you about Chandrasekhar today. Chandrasekhar met with an accident at 2 a.m. on Egmore Road and was rushed to the hospital. He had no insurance papers, no claims. Okay, build that story and show a visual and say, this is what was happening, right? And this entire process that you're narrating, instead of saying, and you have to go this, and you have to do this, and you have to do that, say, and Chandrasekhar had to do this, and then this happened. And then, in all of this pain, Chandrasekhar also had to do this. Is this more engaging? When I add a name to it, right? So when you add a name and a story to it, it becomes more engaging rather than downloading information in terms of steps. So if you ever have steps, convert that into a story with a real human being. And it will be very good if it's a positive story and a positive step, if you can actually take someone's name. Here in this case, I would avoid it. I would not say, and Siddharth met with an accident. I wouldn't want to do that. Siddharth will hate me, right? But if there was something really nice and positive. So for example, Siddharth decided to build a kitchen garden. He had no idea where to start from. All he knew is that he wanted good organic food on his plate. Now Siddharth is very happy because his name is being called out. You feel good? It's human psychology, right? So try to use names of people from within the group, and for negative things, pick up a random character. Yeah, continue.
okay. Let us say Chandrasekhar met with accident. He is admitted in the hospital. The HR person has been informed about his accident, so he wants to know whether he is admitted in the hospital. And let us say a few days later, when the patient is getting discharged, the nurse has to inform the billing department of what consumer medicine was used. The doctor from the insurance company wants to clarify what type of surgery was done. Imagine all these things the Chandrasekhar had to answer and make sure he has to coordinate so that he can discharge on time. Now as a HR, some of you, if you are a HR person, you will understand, you would like to know what is the amount of bill, whether it is fits into the insurance plan. Or let us say, parents, you want to know what time your child is coming back. Or when the what you call the ambulance or the car has to pick you up from the hospital to bring you back. So all these things leads up to a chaotic operation at that few minutes of discharge.
Okay, so I'll help you build the story better. So after you have shared all of this, you can say, now imagine, God forbid, you were that Chandrasekhar. Or you can say, do you know a Chandrasekhar who has been through all of this? It's a lot of chaos, right? Now what if I told you this Chandrasekhar could just sit back, relax in the bed and focus on his physical pain, and we could take away. So build on that Chandrasekhar. This is storytelling, what I'm trying to teach you, right? Rather than information update. Good, go ahead.
And after that we had
reflection question.
A reflection question. The reflection question is, I think that's why I asked, no, what you said is, what if you were the Chandrasekhar?
Good.
The to-do list, just make a call to solve your problem.
Is that a to-do? Make a call. Now we are not even your customers. How can we make a call to solve your problem?
Okay, so all this could be done, all this Chandrasekhar could have done just by making a call.
No. To-do is something you want your audience to do in the next 24 hours, right? So in the next 24 hours, I'd like you to go back and think of a time when you were the Chandrasekhar or you met a Chandrasekhar.
Okay.
What happened to you going through this entire process? How did you feel? Just go back and sit with that feeling. And ask yourself, would you like to go through that feeling once again?
Okay. But,
Yeah.
but what is the objective?
Objective is for them to realize that your product is going to help. See, you have an entire
Okay. No, no. No.
No. Objective is not to sell. Objective is for you to build, help them build the steps so that they sell. I am not going to buy immediately. Nobody buys things immediately. But if I tell you, I'd like you to go back and think of a time when you were in Chandrasekhar's position. How much of pain did you go through? And ask yourself, is it worth it? Would you like to go through that pain once again? No, right? And if you don't want to, I'd be happy to find a solution for you and leave it there. That's it. Because this is not the end of your presentation. This is only one part of
Part of your presentation.
of your entire presentation. We are trying to sell with one part. Don't do that. This is only one part of it.
So should we say that, okay, here is a centralized communication that is offered by this health insurance company?
Yeah, you
That's all.
can. You
At
can.
that point
But
can
you
say
don't say that this is the solution offered by our company, you take it. I have a problem with the you take it pushed
Push.
onto a customer. Don't do that. Right? So you can say that in the next 24 hours, I'd like you to go back and think of being this Chandrasekhar ever in your life. How would that feel? Imagine going through that physical pain and coordinating. Would you ever want to be in that situation? And if you don't, then I'd be happy to help. Here's what we do. We don't want any Chandrasekhars to go through this situation. Any queries, no worries, one phone call. And you talk about your pitch. But you don't say, reach out to me and I will enroll you and make you a member. No, that you don't do.
Okay.
Everything else is fine. Is this making sense? Yeah? Okay. All right.
Done.
Good. Very well done.
It has given us thinking, further thinking. So
Yeah. This workshop is only about thinking, scratching your brains. Ilan did that for 3 months with me. Scratching brains, thinking. Right, come. And you will realize that you can keep sharpening it, sharpening it, sharpening it. Your presentations can go to the next level. But is this opening doors for you? Right? Rather than standing here and giving somebody a dump of PowerPoint, you're now engaging the crowd with a big brand opening, big bang opening, with a roadmap, with a parts formula. There's so much engagement that is happening, right? You wouldn't have otherwise thought of it. Imagine when Ramesh, tell me something. Before, when you were presenting, were you using all of this? What were you doing? Yeah. Right. So we're so focused on our presentation and our slides, right? Now you're thinking about the audience. You're engaging the audience. So we're shifting, which is a good thing. Okay, yes, this is the last group, right? And then we can take a break. Yes.
So, be prepared. So, as a salesperson should have been ready at any time to express their product. So, be prepared. So, this is the line.
Be prepared is
Be
your
prepared.
foundational phrase?
Yes,
Okay,
right.
now the thing about a foundational phrase is that it has to be catchy, it has to be memorable, it has to be unique. Okay? So, be prepared sounds like a bullet point. Can we make it a little more catchy?
So, better late than never.
Okay,
So,
now that is not original. You need to come up with something
that
that's
thing is different. So, earlier we have just noted that don't get ready, stay ready.
And
so
I told
that's
you
what-
that is Craig
yes, right,
Valentine,
yes,
yeah.
right. So, that's why we changed to better late than never.
That's fine. See, better.
How about one input? Be prepared to achieve your sales goals.
Again, that is very, very common and cliche. Can we make it a little interactive, interesting? For example, when you say feed the plant, feed the soul, it's very unique, it's very catchy, right? Any queries? No worries, huh? Sorry? So catchy it is. I'm going to remember it for the rest of my life. Right? No, so it's fine. See, coming up with a foundational phrase is not easy. Take your time, it will hit you at some point in time. So if you don't have it right now, no problem. build on it later. Yes. What is your anchor?
So anchor will be props based on props, because we need to train them. We need to engage the audience. We need to engage that person to make them to sell. So we have to just giving a product like water bottle or mobile, and then we can make them to how will you sell this product to an unknown person.
So you're going to do an activity.
Activity kind
Your
of
anchor
things.
is an
Activities
activity.
based on props.
Activity
property.
based on props. Very nice. Okay. What is your reflection question?
So reflection will be, we can ask 150 words per minute. That's right.
Slow down. He's asking you to
yes,
slow
right,
down.
Yes, right.
Yes.
I understand that. Okay, then reflect. So reflect. Have you ever felt the product, the need for the product? Have you ever felt the need for the product?
Have you ever felt the need for your
So
product?
every
What is-
person, so we need to
Which
get
product? Which product?
what are the product we are dealing with. So since as a salesperson, they will be selling mobile, or they will be selling on the camera, whatever it may be.
Do we understand the question?
Have you ever felt the need of a product?
Which
so
product?
This
Which
question has to be asked to the customer. So every person has to be, we make them feel that this product they're supposed to buy. We have to make them understand the need of the product.
Yeah, but the reflection question is not clear. What could be a reflection question to use here?
We can make it.
What is the context? Can somebody explain? I'm not able to understand the context of this. No, but what is a reflection? What do you understand by reflection question? After the activity is over, you want the audience to reflect on something. What is that reflection you want to create?
Okay, we can say that.
Are you trying to say that, have you ever had a situation where the customer did not have a need and you were trying to sell a product? Is that what you're trying to say? Now it makes sense. Right? Right. So raise your hands if you were ever trying to sell something to someone who didn't need it.
We can put it that way, right?
Is that what you're trying to say? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so let's try it. So raise your hands if you were ever trying to sell something to someone who didn't need the product. Yeah? Is it difficult to sell? A lot of people say no. I get that. Now what if I told you, and then you talk about, so what part, this is the need part of it, right? So what if I told you there is a way for you to build a need within a customer even if he doesn't have the need? And then you explain your bit. So that reflection, see, why is reflection so important? Why do you think we're stressing so much on reflection questions? How does it help? Otherwise the audience is not interested. Till I don't build that reflection, I'm not, see, imagine I stand here and say, today I'm going to talk to you about the man formula and we are going to talk about need. And need is all about creating need with your customer. And this is how you create need. It sounds like a lot of download, right? But when I say that, have you ever been in a situation where you tried to sell something to someone who didn't need it? Was it difficult? Did the customer say no? I get that. What if I tell you that what I'm about to share with you will help you convert every no into a yes, even if there is no need? And then you share what you have to share. See, it's the bridging gap. It helps the audience prepare and be excited about what you have to share. So reflection questions are very important. Don't underestimate them. They're very, very important. Okay? So that is a good reflection question. What's your to-do?
So to-do will be, we can inform the audience to prepare the list of customers and find out the what are the needs based on the customer needs.
Nice. So in the next 24 hours, make a list of your customers and look at what their needs are. Very good. Well done.
Thank you.
Right. So what we've done is looked at the parts formula, the part formula actually. Now imagine if this entire method was used for every part of the roadmap. Would you have something that's super solid? Right? Now, have you ever really been in that situation where there was a slide deck running and all you were doing was dumping information and you had a blank audience staring at you? That's never going to happen again. Because you now have a model and a structure that will keep the audience engaged. It is all focused on the audience. If you remember when we started yesterday, I told you I'm going to give you an algorithm. Once you put it together, you will be able to create a world-class presentation. Right? So if you create any presentation, you will first start with creating a bold promise, you will create a roadmap, you will create a big bang opening, and then you will build content for each part of the roadmap using the part formula. So, and it takes work. It does not happen overnight. Okay, it takes a long time, but it's worth it. It's like sharpening the saw. Spend 6 hours making your business presentation and you will be able to sell more in 2 hours than you ever did. It's a one-time effort. Create that foundational phrase, create the anchor, create the reflection questions, and you will have a world-class presentation in place. It's a beautiful model. It's just that you have to sit and do it. It requires creativity. And don't let language hold you back. You can do it in Tamil. The formula can apply in any language, yeah. Do it in any language. But the formula works because you are engaging your participants every 2 to 3 minutes. There is something happening, right? So with that, we are done with the world-class speaking model. What you see on top is closing. And whatever you learnt in opening, the 7 types of opening can also be used for closing. Can I get the pointer, the slide changer? And this time it's not in my pocket. Right. So if you look at the model on page number 18, you will see that there is bold promise, there is big bang, bold promise and roadmap. Then there are first point, second point, third point, and the parts formula in each point. Then there is closing, right? And you will see signal to close, Q&A, callback, and tease. So if you remember yesterday, what I did is, I said I'm going to close now. We've come to the end of today. If you remember, I signaled that I was going to close. And then what you do is, you do your Q&A. So I said, now I'm going to open the forum for any questions before I end in a very special way. So you never ever end with questions. Have you seen people that say, okay, I'm done with my presentation, do you have any questions? Have you seen people that do that? What is the risk with doing that? Keeping Q&A at the end. What is the risk? After closing.
When you inform it is closed, people start thinking of going out of classroom.
Yeah, okay.
Their mind will be outside, not in the classroom.
Yeah, what else? Imagine you had this lovely story you wanted to end your presentation with. And you ended the story and then you said, okay, now time for Q&A. Why should we not do that? I am saying first have the Q&A, then have the story. Why? Okay, yeah.
Audience idea, what you're thinking, to get better clarity from them.
Yeah, but my question is, the big closing, why should I do that as the last thing after the Q&A and not before the Q&A?
Maybe to understand whatever we have conveyed all this time, whether they understood properly or not, from that Q&A session also we will come to know. So accordingly our closing section also.
Okay, interesting.
It will open up again the topics.
Okay.
Question starts.
It'll open more topics, yeah, yeah.
We shouldn't, like last time you mentioned, no need to ramble. When we go against that walk, basically we want them to take a message, the final message. If you open up for question, the final message is lost.
Brilliant. Yesterday I told you something very interesting. I said the audience will always remember the takeoff, the landing, and some aha moments in between. And your landing has to be amazing. It cannot be a Q&A where somebody is asking you random questions. Because people will always remember the last thing and the first thing very well. Last messages stick. You have to end on a note where people are clapping for you. People want to do more work with you. So Q&A will fizzle it out. So keep your Q&A towards the end. Say, I'm opening the forum for questions now before I end in a very special way. So you're signaling. Do you see this? Look into your books. There's signal, there is Q&A. So the signal is before I end on a very special note, I'm going to take 10 minutes of questions. And keep it restricted to 10 minutes. Everything else you can say we can meet offline. Then you have the Q&A, then you call back. So you say, okay, those were some great questions. So what we've done so far is, we have spoken about whatever it is, right? So I've been able to share with you the MBC system, which is this. So call back, a recap. And then you close with one of those 7 ways that we've learned in opening. You can either show an audio visual, you can end with a story, you can end with an analogy, an activity, you can end with a prop, with a statistic, whatever it is. But let that be the last thing. The last thing that people see is very, very important. And you can use the same as opening. Any one of those work. The best way to end is a story. That's the best way. You know why? Because facts tell, stories sell. Facts tell, stories sell. People always buy into a good story. So see if you can keep a story, and if it's a personal story that you can keep towards the end, nothing like it. So for example, what inspired you to get into videonetics? If there is a story behind it, on anything, I don't know what your journey is, but if there was a story around how you felt unsafe, or something that happened to your family or whatever, and because of which you started this, that would be a brilliant way. Or why you choose to be in organic farming and fertilizers. That's a great story. So end with a personal story if you can. Okay, so that's closing. What you see in between is something called transitions. So how will you move from M to B to C? There has to be a way to do that, right? So the way to do that is to create curiosity, which is called the transition tease, which you can see here, right? A transition tease is like, imagine there is you're watching TV, news, okay? Imagine you're watching news, and in the news channels you would have seen the news reporter saying, okay, coming up right after the break is what is happening with the election polls and a little bit on the crime that has happened in this. See you after the short break. So they give you a glimpse and they leave you. And you're waiting for what's coming up next. That is the transition bridge from one point to another. Okay, that is the transition bridge. So, for example, if I have to move into the next topic after the break, which is around owning the stage, I will ask you a few questions to build that transition. So I will ask you something like, raise your hands if you've ever seen a very nervous speaker on stage. Somebody who's very nervous and cold. Did you feel uncomfortable in the audience as well, looking at them? What if I told you that the next time you walk on stage, you will never ever be nervous and freeze like that? How would you feel about that? So this is a transition bridge. And then I say, I'm going to be talking to you about a very important element of the VAMS formula, which is owning the stage. So I'm building the bridge and then opening. So transitions is questions in between to build that curiosity and then move to the question. Move to the next segment. So between M, B, C, there has to be, from M, how will you move to B? So you have to look at what B has to offer and then build your questions around it, reflection questions, and then start. That's how you move from M to B to C. So that is the model, yeah. Like I said,
Question will also be M.
yeah.
So the M's reflection question should be there a time to
Could be, or it could be a different question altogether. No, B is something to transition from M to B, right? Something around B. So if I'm going to be talking about B, then my question has to be about B. Yeah? Okay. So this is the model, and this requires a lot of work and practice. If you are really inspired and you want to work on this model end to end and create a presentation, I'm opening the slot for one of you to share your end-to-end presentation with me. I'm happy to give feedback to first come, first serve basis. One person who can record their entire presentation using the model, send it to me, I'm happy to give feedback. Yeah, this is something I'd like to share from my end because you've been such a lovely you've been such a lovely audience, very participative, and you're taking interest in the subject. But this is life-changing. I know a lot of people that I work with that are using this model, and the way they present is changed completely. This is stuff you don't get to see on YouTube. This is not the kind of stuff you will learn in regular presentation skills program. This is advanced public speaking, what you're learning today. And the best part is, it is simple. It's not complicated. It just needs effort. So if you're willing to put the effort, you will see the results, right? So on that note, let's take a lunch break. Once you come back, we're going to move into the fourth element of the VAMS formula, which is stage, where we're going to cover everything around body language. What do you do with your hands? How do you stand? How much do you move? How do you deal with that fear that comes up? How do you engage the audience? All of that. The most exciting part is reserved for the last part of this workshop. So take a 45-minute break. Don't eat too much because I won't let you sleep. Take care.